Look at that. Isn't it a wonderful, amazing sight? Look at that out there. A little wooden town. Little house on the prairie. The outlaw Josie Wales. Others. It's a sometimes vlog. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. And that, my friends, right there, right yonder, is Bodie, California. One of the biggest, bestest, one of the biggest ghost towns in the West. In the old West. And I have spent the last 2 days exploring it. Not in a Ford Explorer, but in this rented Jeep Patriot. My Mustang's still in the shop down home. While they were fixing that, I decided to go on one of the many road trips I've been promising to go on here back to Bodie, California. Maybe a little number of you remember a little vlog called Heimbucked by Circumstances, where I was out way past that dirt road at the gate. And I'm sorry for the jerkiness of this, because there's a lot of crazy flies that sound like bees, and there are also a lot of bees, so you can't trust any buzzing out here. I was out at the dirt road gate area of that when it was closed the last time I was coming back down from Reno back towards LA, and did not have a chance to visit Bodie, California, which I had really intended to random land at. Oh, and friends, I random landed the random land out of that. So many of you guys donated money to the road trip through PayPal on our website, or added funds to patreon.com/JustinScard, or bought some Live Fast I Pour t-shirts from livefastiport.spreadshirt.com. And to Bodie, I have finally returned. Look at this. Do you know what this is? Me neither. I'm not a mechanic or an engineer or a scientist. I'm just a man with a simple dream and an iPhone 6 and also another camera, which I use sometimes. Anyway, over here, we have something a little special. And I'm going to start walking towards it now in the interest of time, because I have no idea when and where I'll be able to upload this vlog. Yesterday I came to Bodie. I filmed as much as I could, but because of yesterday's vlog at Mono Lake, I was a little bit late and didn't quite get everything that I wanted to get in Bodie. So I spent the night in Bridgeport, California in a somewhat haunted hotel, periscoped it as much as I possibly could to all of you guys on the Wi-Fi. Thought about doing a vlog from the hotel, but thought, no, there'll be something else interesting along the way. I thought I was going to leave Bodie way earlier today. Instead, I came to Bodie, I did my duty, and by the way, I'm sorry for the wind, I can't control it. I've done my duty, I filmed all the random land I could film, hiked up and down and wandered all over. And if any of you guys are thinking to yourself, geez, you sound out of shape, we're up at 8,000 some odd feet of elevation way up here. Bodie, crazy mining town. Gold first discovered here in 1875, I think, the same year as the Comstock lode. I think, could be wrong, but it really didn't kick off till the 1870s, late 1870s, early 1880s, 1875, 6, 7, somewhere in there. Bodie really started kicking off. So Bodie is a fantastic town, one of the biggest, most well-preserved ghost towns in the West. There are other towns that were restored or had people living in them enough that a lot more buildings were saved. But with Bodie, it's been in a state of arrested decay ever since the land was donated to the state of California in 1962. So Bodie has been sitting there quietly rotting away, very heimbucked by fire, gutted by fire several times, most notably in 1932, but still has well over 100 wooden and some brick buildings left here up in the crazy high elevation, the eastern Sierra Nevada mountains, where gold was mined. There's a big mine over there, the Standard Mine mill, which is still sort of intact, but over here is one that was totally destroyed by fate and circumstance. So we're standing now. The reason I'm assuming that this is so sandy where we're standing, I know a little bit about the milling process of ore, especially gold and silver, mostly from reading books like Roughing It and just different history books of the old West and looking at other ghost town things and stuff like that. I've gleaned a little bit of information on how it was done, but I'm not 100% sure. Once cyanide came into it instead of quicksilver, I'm less familiar with it. I'm choking on a chip, a pepperoni chip. It's tasty. Anyway, I'm assuming this ground is all heimbucked because chemicals were used in the processes up here. And so all of these piles here are mine tailings, which means they get the ore out of the mountain, they bring the ore down to a stamp mill. Stamp mills crush the ore into smaller and finer pieces ore being just like, you know, the rock they pull out. It smashes the ore into smaller, finer pieces, smashes it up. Sometimes it's melted, sometimes it is not melted, but they'll put chemicals into it. So like quicksilver dissolves gold, so they'll put quicksilver in stuff, it'll dissolve the gold, and then they'll pull out the gold with the quicksilver. I think something like that. I'm not 100% sure, you'd have to look it up. But I know that in the process, as they improve the technology and got electricity and different stuff, they start using crazy chemicals like cyanide, and mercury is pretty dangerous too, quicksilver. And more and more and more, the hills around old mining sites were sort of poisoned. So you can see there's some creosote bush and sagebrush and whatnot. And on the left, very thick. On the right, very thick. But here, right on top of where this mine, I think there was a stamp mill here, but I'm not 100% sure. I know what this is, but I'll get to that in a second. Just where this industrial facility was, let's put it that way, Heimbucht, you can see there's a lot less vegetation in the earth underneath. Feels very, very different. So anyway, look at this. Look at the remnants. What am I doing? So here's the abandoned smelter, because that's what this is. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong again. I'm not an expert on this site. This is outside of Bodie, just outside of the gate. And instead of taking the normal dirt road back, here's this dirt road that heads towards Mono Lake. So I went down it a ways to see if the Jeep Patriot could handle a little bit of off-road. Up this up to another mining site. It could not. So I turned around and decided to come back here, do a little vlogging, and now I'm rambling and rambling and rambling instead of showing you. Here we go. Look at this. Park and Lacey Mining Machinery Depot. What does that say? Barrett Market Street, San Francisco, California. So this, I don't know if it was built in, but definitely built by a company based in San Francisco for mining. So I'm assuming this would be our smelter. Look at all this stuff inside. I don't know what that is. You know, some of you guys in the comments, every time I have a question, you have an answer. I'm assuming here would be furnace doors, because under here you can see this giant boiler here. I have no idea what would go into or come out from this thing. I know very little about it, but I do know this. It looks pretty cool out here. Some of you are probably wondering if I'm worried about snakes. Slightly, and I'll explain why in a second. You can see how the hillside is terraced. There used to be buildings here, and operations of machinery here. You can see pipes sticking up out of the ground, and there's going to be nails and glass all over if we keep looking for them. I don't feel like getting poisoned by anything, so I don't like to root around too much. Plus, it's technically an archaeological site, and I'm pretty sure we're still on the state of California's land, so I don't want to be picking things up and Heimbucking them too much. You're allowed to pick stuff up in Bodie. You're not supposed to. You're encouraged not to, but it's not a federal crime to pick it up and put it back where you found it. But you're definitely not supposed to take anything from a place like this or disturb it in any kind of meaningful way, which might Heimbuck someone's future archaeological research, or of course, you know, damage the integrity of the site. Look at this. Look at this giant nail right here. That's something I was going to say about Bodie. And also look at this wire, and this metal wire. And there's concrete here, which means this one was a lot newer than some of the operations, obviously, based in Bodie. Bodie had people in it until 1940. I think the last mines closed 1915 or so, somewhere around there, just before World War I. So there was concrete, there was electricity, telephones. Oh, that was me doing that. Whew. Telephones, telegraphs, all that good stuff was in Bodie. They even had some paved streets. There's a giant gnarly fly sitting on the edge of this phone. You know, we're obviously sitting inside of some part of the building here for this. So this is where I'm more worried about rattlesnakes, when they have somewhere shady to hide from the sun and I accidentally step on one. Go to Boy Scouts, children. It will teach you things. Get a Boy Scout handbook. You're not too much danger from rattlesnakes for stepping on open ground, but watch where you step. Important. I was on my way out here on this dirt road yesterday, pulled over to the side to do what Jeff Heimbuck does in the shower but won't admit to. And I actually walked up to a bunch of little bushes like this, little sagebrush and creosote bushes and whatever was out there, scrub, and did my duty. Then when I went like this, put my heel down and turned it. This bush, the shady spot under the bush out there was actually a lot higher, exploded with sound. So I did a little hop and said, "Hey!" as if that was going to help me. "Hey!" Looked at the snake and then leapt gingerly a little further away. Then I sort of walked away slowly and I made a joke to the snake. The power of the cobra. I didn't even say, "Watch out, I have the power of the cobra," or anything really coherent. I just made a joke at it. as if that would placate and calm down the snake. I didn't get it on film because I was going to urinate, not to film. Had I been doing a vlog or something, it would have been amazing. So what I keep telling everyone who has heard the story so far is, if you want to laugh at somebody almost getting murdered by a rattlesnake, go laugh at Adam the Woo's Daily Woo, where he almost got hind-bucked by a rattlesnake. It's pretty hilarious. That was at the Manson family cave near the Spawn Ranch. So you can see I'm breathing kind of heavily, but that's only because the air is really thin up here, and I just came up quite a ways already during this vlog. But there you go, there's this abandoned smelter up here. So obviously a little more recent, more recent vintage than the 1870s, but still a pretty old piece of equipment. Let's see, we can go up this hill here. Let's see if we can go up this hill. But yeah, I was gonna say about that nail, that huge nail. Look at all this metal stuff. See all the tin cans and different stuff. That if you come to Bodie at all, and I highly recommend it if you're going up US 395 at all. Ugh, this is kind of slippery and treachery. Look at this. This is a piston. What is that? If you're coming up US 395 and you're coming to Bodie at all, the first thing I would recommend is getting a tetanus shot. A tetanus shot. And maybe you're actually coming back to this vlog from seeing the Random Land video that I just filmed. And again, I apologize for the wind. I can't control it. Get your tetanus shot. But there's glass and nails and wires, barbed wire, sharp tin. Man, my lips are chapped. All kinds of crazy stuff like this. This is obviously another piece of whatever that was over there. Glass, like I said, just sharp. There's a lot of pieces of sharp everything all over the hind-bucked and abandoned town of Bodie. To a ridiculous degree, to a degree where in the path where children are walking, you will be stepping through mounds of nails and glass and stuff like this. So definitely don't wear flip-flops. Definitely wear boots, because you won't be hurt or punctured as much. Look right here. See this? See how there's a bunch of nails here? Like a bunch of, and that's an older one. Look at that. Bunch of nails there, rusty nails. So get your tetanus shot and wear boots. Because it's preserved like an archaeological site, they don't clear the paths and maintain the paths clean of stuff for tourists. And it's kind of a better situation because you should be, it's buyer beware if you come and explore Bodie, to not hind-buck your own self on any metal objects. Because it's one of the few places you can go, and I really appreciated this about it. It's one of the few places you can go and you can explore, you can wander all over, you can climb on things. There are pits and holes and exposed wells. Not too many exposed mines, they have those all closed off. But there's all this really gnarly, cool, dangerous stuff. You get to climb all over and explore, look at the artifacts, touch the artifacts. But all it will take is a few people who are silly, who have no brains, coming out and messing around too much, getting hurt, and then suing before we all get to lose the privilege of being able to walk around all over the site. So make sure you take care of yourself, you be prepared, and you be smart before you come out here. But there's a lot to explore. Highly recommend it. Anyway, that leads me into, I did film it for Random Land. I got quite a lot of footage of Bodie, and so now I'm on to the next adventure. I'm going to try my best to make it up to Virginia City in time to get a cool hotel room at the old Silver Queen like I did last time. If I don't make it in time, because they close kind of early, the desk, and they don't always answer the phone, I might have to stay in Carson City or so. But either way, my plan is tomorrow, and maybe you're seeing this in the middle of the night, my plan is tomorrow to go and be back in Virginia City, maybe do a little vlogging there. So if you live in the Reno-Carson area and you're going to be in Virginia City tomorrow, come say hello. Look at this bucket. Look at this bucket. That was my bucket. Birds of the bucket, and I left her out here in 1812. Much prize when the state of California took over the property, and I weren't allowed to take her home with me no more. I suppose she's going to sit out here and rust to the end of her days. But what can you do? Speaking of the old prospector, don't worry. Don't worry. You'll see him again soon. Trust me. Anyway, I don't really have anything to talk about other than pretty lonely out here. No cell reception 90% of the time. I've been wandering around. I stayed in that haunted hotel, although I think someone was really pulling my legs. It claimed that Mark Twain stayed there, even though it was built in the 1870s, and Mark Twain was nowhere near the area in that time. But let him have it. Let him have it. I like hokey, tourist trappy type of thing, so it was fine. It was fine. It looked a lot like the Bates Motel, actually, if any of you actually saw pictures of it. Anyway, I'm headed back down now, away from the abandoned smelter and on to the next adventure. I know this ran actually kind of long, considering it was just me rambling to you. Ow! You just did a flip. You ninja, you. That's amazing. so badly, friends, so badly. I just want a brick. Not this brick, like one good solid brick, like a Bodie brick. I just wanted to prop open my door or something. I gingerly set that back down. Look at that, man. What happened to you? Bam, like a Bodie brick. But no, it is illegal. And not only is it illegal, but it takes away all these cool Bodie bricks that I'm coveting from other people to see. Anyway, I'm gonna go back down the treacherousness and through all this abandoned Heimbach stuff. I guess I could let you guys have a look at it. The abandoned Smelter. Can you dig it? Can you understand? Can you get it? Do you get it? Can you get it? Can you feel me? Stupid joke. My throat is dry. My lips are parched. I've been out here all day with the allergies and the sagebrush. It's like going in a hippie store where they have lots of sagebrush and stuff, you know? Like lots of crazy herbs and oils and stuff. Way too much smells going on out here for me. I'm just a city boy. I'm really not complaining that much, I'm just kidding. In terms of the quest for positivity, to which I always receive questions if I don't talk about it during the vlogs, and since I'm just wandering back down towards this car, I might as well talk about it. The quest for positivity is going okay. It's an ongoing quest forever. Yesterday was a little bit frustrating. Just in terms of, sometimes, you know what, I get really super lonely. I really do. I'm gonna be honest with you. Get super lonely, and then everyone I wanted to talk to, I couldn't talk to, and there was no cell reception and stuff. I got on Periscope and had a lot of fun with you guys, but it was really frustrating because it kept getting disconnected. So I was okay, but it was cool, whatever, just a normal mood, like just a normal person's kind of whatever mood. But I woke up this morning, I'll be totally honest with you, on the wrong side of the bed. Just the wrong side of the bed. And I totally pumped myself up with the power of positivity type of thing, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get out of this bed. I'm gonna be super stinking positive. So I packed up the car. I did my thing. I went and bought some Mountain Dew from a lovely guy named Bubba. He's real. Check it out on Twitter. And he was really funny. I was like, Bubba? He's like, I know. I hear it all the time. Pretty nice guy, actually. And I made my way out towards Bodie. I knew I was gonna accomplish something today, so I was pumping myself up. I was feeling good. I was listening to the Weaker Thans on the radio and feeling all good, you know, positive. I was trying to think of one of the songs to mock sing to you, but I can't actually think of it now, because all of a sudden, by the way, when you're on dirt roads, it's courtesy to slow down so that you don't kick up a bunch of dirt and rocks into people's car windows and stuff like that, to slow down so the dust cloud lets and pass each other at a reasonable, especially when you're on like a one car width area. So that's a pretty wide area. This is a pretty wide area here. So picture like to here, right? Pretty narrow. Two cars can squeeze past each other, but you need to slow down. So I'm passing people, and they're coming out of Bodie, and I'm coming into Bodie. We're waving. It's fine. We're slowing down, making sure no dust gets in anybody's car. People are passing me. I'm letting people pass because I do, and people are letting me pass them as people take different pictures on this very scenic road out here on the way to Bodie. It's beautiful, by the way. If hot. It's really hot out here. And by the way, there's a lot of shepherds and sheep out there. It's pretty crazy. I think I posted something to my Snapchat yesterday. Anyway. This guy comes along, all crazy, almost runs a lady behind me off the road, almost runs me off the road. And I'm not talking about somewhere flat like this. I'm talking about along a ledge. Just around the corner here, the first ledge you come to away from Bodie, pretty much almost knocked me off of it. Flew at like 50 or 60 miles an hour, kicked all this rocks and dust up right into the windows, all crazy. And I kind of lost my temper. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of the whole, you turn this car around right now, or whatever. You be quiet back there, turn this car around right now. I got grumpy. So he turns the corner and he comes up to the gate to get into Bodie. So I got out of my car like a maniac. Not really like a maniac, but I got out of the car just to be like, what the heck, man? So I went up to him and I was like, where's the fire? What's going on? You know, you should be careful. You almost ran me off the road. There's a little adrenaline going, okay? And he spoke nothing but French back to me. Ah, that was irritating. It was far more irritating than just being able to tell some guy like, hey man, you need to be careful, slow down on the dirt roads. I realize people don't drive on dirt roads every day. It's the same thing as people who won't pull over out of the slow lane. They don't drive on 2-lane highways every day, so they don't know that they're in the slow lane, that they should only be there to pass. It's the same thing with people on dirt roads or people on mountain roads. There's always a rookie, a novice, and so I always make it a point, if I can, to say something as nicely as I can, no matter how frustrated I am. Like, hey, just so you know, this is the rule of this for safety purposes. And he spoke nothing but French. And for some reason, that really irritated me. I'm over it now. I got over it. This is a big, long story about nothing. But I got pretty cranky about that. It's unsafe. So the moral of the story is, if you're coming out to a crazy dirt road along a ledge, sorry, I was grabbing a Mountain Dew there. I'm very thirsty. If you're coming out to a crazy dirt road along a ledge and you see a car approaching, slow down. Where's the fire? This is coming from a guy who drives his Mustang pretty fast on paved roads when there's no traffic. But when it comes to other people on little narrow twisty highways or where there's low visibility or something like that, slow down. It's not worth dying over, and it's especially not worth killing somebody over. Come on. So that's me. I got 4 fingers pointing back at me. I realize that. A little pot calling the kettle. But on a crazy dirt road on the side of a cliff, even I would really like it if we could all just slow down. So there you go. An abandoned Smelter. Bodie in front of us. I'll give you a little glimpse of it. But there's a whole bunch of random land coming up. So the question is, wow, are you really grumpy about that? No, not anymore. I was totally fine. As soon as I got to the actual my turn in the gate, the guy at the gate actually made me laugh. Right away, he was making me laugh. He was being all positive, like, well, bro, just keep your chin up, man, you know? And he was making a bunch of French jokes, which were a little insensitive that I won't make back. But I was like, oh, okay, you know, stuff about them not, you know, wanting to fight in wars, and like, you can imagine it for yourself. But anyway, he was cheering me up just by his attitude. He's being so chipper and positive. And then I realized, like, not only does the power of positivity, or the quest for positivity stuff, work for your own self, but it very much does rub off on other people. So when other people are doing it back to me, it's kind of awesome, right? It's kind of awesome just to see somebody else being positive, making the decision to be positive. Because the guy was actually very rude to him too. And this guy sits at the gate all the time. So there you go. There's Bodie. Bodie, California. And there it goes in my rear view. And now I am about to hit a crazy dirt road of treachery, and all kinds of cars are going to be coming back and forth. So I'm going to put you guys down. I love you all. Thank you for joining me on this Sometimes vlog. Sorry it was a little bit long and rambly. Thanks for looking at the old Smelter with me. Luckily we didn't get bit by any rattlesnakes. Hit me up on Twitter at JustinScarred. Go check out Patreon and all that other good stuff. You already know about that. If it doesn't make it in the description today, go back and check it out. This vlog is way too long. How will I ever upload it? I don't know what to do. I love you guys. I have a long, hot, tired day. I'm not my normal hyper chipper self. And the reason is, and by the way, this road is massive and wide and I can see everything. So you're still good for a few seconds, but then I'm gonna hang up on you with this vlog. It's a weird sentence. But no, I'm doing very positive. See, that's the other mind spot I was trying to go to. I don't know if you guys can see that, especially if this uploads in low quality because of bad service, but way out there, you can see the discoloration. Those are all tailing piles. So that's all minerals and ore and mine tailings, the, discardedness that's been pulled out from the mountains and in the mines and left there forever now. So I was trying to go out there, but this car couldn't do it. Anyway, I am actually super positive. I'm just really tired and cranky. And I didn't want to miss my time with you today. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, from Virginia City. Maybe tonight. It's a Sometimes vlog. It doesn't just have to happen once a day. Go back and see the other ones if you didn't. Mono Lake. Exciting stuff is happening. Exciting stuff is happening. You've done your duty. Go home and sleep well. Why didn't you leave?
Please subscribe for more vlogs and have some good food. You've done your duty. Go home and sleep well.